The annual NATO summit earlier this month was hailed as a step towards a more balanced US-European relationship. It also reconfirmed Russia as an ongoing threat to the alliance. Today, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. This as the war on Iran shows no signs of subsiding. To discuss all of this, I'm glad that we can bring in our NATO correspondent, Shauna Murray, who is live for us from the NATO headquarters in Brussels. Good morning, Shauna. Great to see you. The Ankara summit earlier this month, I know you were there, proved quite a positive moment for Ukraine. Is there hope now that the US might do more to pressure Russia?
Well, good morning, Marit. Indeed, it was a step towards Europe really stepping up, bringing the establishment of NATO 3.0 with a lot of procurement, 50 billion euros in procurement for European capabilities. At the same time, as you mentioned there, it was a good day for Ukraine in Ankara because the United States allowed the licensing and manufacturing of crucial Patriot defence systems. And today, Marco Rubio said he is meeting his counterpart, Sergei Lavrov. The jury's out as to whether this means that it's a definitive moment, because we heard also Marco Rubio saying that he won't be putting too much pressure on Lavrov. Lavrov also saying he's going to question Marco Rubio. Comments by US President Donald Trump, who said that the war in Ukraine is coming closer to an end. So to discuss this, I'm joined by Colonel Martin O'Donnell, who's a senior advisor to the Supreme Allied Commander of the European Forces here at NATO. Martin, that meeting today with Marco Rubio and Sergei Lavrov, do you hope something will come out of it because of what we've seen in terms of the signs of Ukraine doing much better on the battlefield and Russia really on the back foot?
Well, I think Secretary Rubio has said the meeting will comprise of a number of different things. We'll see what comes out of it in terms of peace. Of course, we all hope for and really want to see peace in Ukraine. The important thing to note, though, is until that point comes, NATO will continue to support Ukraine.
Yeah, but do you think that it's possible because of that, a signal that that Donald Trump gave the Ukrainians that they can manufacture and license Patriot defense missiles, that the United States is sort of a bit annoyed that Putin has not in any meaningful way come to the table when it comes to peace, and maybe the US is giving a little bit more support to Ukraine than we've seen so far in the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, President Trump has been pretty clear. He wants to bring about a peaceful end to that, to stop all of the killing. So then you see responses like you just described, and I think those are very, very positive movements towards peace.
On the Iran issue, because we know that the war there has started apace, and in fact it was at the NATO summit that Donald Trump decided that the memorandum of understanding was no more. That's not a good sign for NATO, because we know that Donald Trump was outraged that allies didn't support him in the initial days of the war. What do you think allies can do in defending the United States if they want to, and also the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, because that's what everyone's very concerned about?
Yes, I think it's not a good thing for anyone, right, that this is going on. That Iran has said, hey, we'll control the Strait of Hormuz. All the allies agreed at the NATO summit that you talked about that the Strait of Hormuz must remain free, and free it will. And if NATO can play a role, we've said time and time again, we will. A lot of nations, bilaterally, multilaterally, have sent ships already to the region. Nations are also supporting the United States in other ways. Bulgaria, for example, their parliament met yesterday, decided to support the basing of U.S. refuelers. That was followed by a statement from a U.S. European command saying that they will support Bulgaria with United States assets in the region if anybody thinks that they can threaten the United States or NATO. So these are strong reactions.
They are indeed, but the Iranians have responded to that and said that might bring Bulgaria as a party to the conflict. So there is a threat that this war in Iran could explode even further.
Well, look, we saw that when Iran fired missiles towards Turkey, right, a NATO ally. Of course, NATO defended in all of those instances, and we will continue to defend against any threat posed by Iran or anyone else to this defensive alliance.
Okay, Colonel Martin O'Donnell, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And back to you in studio, Marit.
Shauna, thank you so much, and thank you also to your guest there.